We are going to talk about rentals today. My name is Annie Adkins, and this is my husband and business partner, Jay, and we are in Central Ohio, and we are the Ohio Super Group for REI USA.
Yeah.
It's not really fuzzy. It's just because the computer is moving nonstop because we're sitting on her bed. Anyway, we have 3 people with us now. And like I said earlier, for those of you that just joined me or us, it's the week of Christmas. So I have employed all of our older children to wrap gifts for one another.
Yes.
While we are working. And so I have no makeup on, and I guess you're lucky that my hair is done today. I don't know what to say, but anyway, we're going to talk about rentals and what we have done this year. We have a coaching group, and some of our students were, for lack of a better word, complaining that they couldn't find any deals. And we've had some local investors that we see out and about also say that, you know, the market is starting to slow down and there's no deals to be found, right? So Jay, being Jay, decided to challenge all of that information and made the challenge to us and our team that we were going to add how many rentals this year?
Well, the goal was 24
rentals to our portfolio.
Doors.
24 doors to our portfolio. Yes. So we had already had about 25. Yeah.
Yes.
At the beginning of 2021. So we were going to double our rental portfolio basically. And we do all things real estate. So we have rental businesses, we have flipping businesses, we have a construction business that does all of our rehab work and does some outside jobs. We have a coaching business. We have a wholesaling business. So the challenge was on as far as Jay was concerned. And I was a little skeptical, to be honest, because there were so many people saying that there were no deals available, that we could add as many as we did. So let me pull up our.
And we added 27 rentals. In addition to probably turned down 20 of those 27. And I would think that two more we had under contract that fell through. Mm-hmm. That happens sometimes.
And one that we're still waiting to close on because the guy's not calling us back now. Let me see. I can't find where I need to share.
Right here.
Oh, right in front of my face.
That's who can share. Yep.
Got it. It's one of those days.
There we go.
All right. So again, my name is Annie Adkins. This is my husband and business partner, Jay. And we are the real estate master plan of Ohio Super Group. We're in Central Ohio. So,
which is near Columbus yep. And surrounding area.
Right outside, actually, about 30 minutes.
Our marketplace. And so we figured out.
What is happening to my...
At this time last year, we did a training with you guys about how to set annual goals and what and why and how with action steps. So that's what I did. I just set that up. I will tell you that all of the deals that we acquired were purchased either through organic Facebook marketing or people in our bird dog community referring us deals. So it's important to let people know that you're in real estate.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
To tell them that if they bring you a deal and you're able to close on it, that you'll get them paid some money.
We do a referral fee or a finder's fee.
We usually do just $500 to $1,000.
Depending on the deal. And we honestly haven't purchased a house off of the MLS consistently for a while.
No.
It's always been word of mouth, or there's lots of people in our area that we have lots of like selling walls and different Facebook groups. So people that we went to high school with know that we're in real estate because our town is somewhat smaller.
Well, everyone in our town knows.
Yeah.
I mean, a new house popped up on a Facebook group on Sunday, and 4 people tagged us.
That's what I was gonna say.
Within a couple of hours.
We just get tagged more and more as things start popping up. So, and without even asking, but definitely talks, because the more you talk about what you do, the more people will know and the more referrals you'll get. So anyway, as we said, we challenged ourselves, or Jay challenged us and our team to add to our rental portfolio. We figured out what we needed to add because we have a vision for our life and what we want our life to be, and we want our businesses to look like and feed into that life.
Yep.
So we have come up with a number of what we need in order to live that vision. And Jay asked me, what would you do if you didn't have to work? And I said, literally nothing. I would find something to do as far as traveling or reading or going to the beach or whatever, but I would not do anything work related in any capacity.
Yes.
So based off of that information, he figured out that we needed to add 27 rentals to our portfolio. 27
24.
doors. Oh,
24
doors. Sorry.
is what we needed.
What we needed was 24.
To pay all of our bills, pay all of our stuff, money for
Vacations.
6 weeks of vacation per year.
Mhm.
And so and money for date nights and expenditures, fun money.
Mhm.
All of that must be included.
So we took all of our monthly bills and all of our monthly obligations, like dance classes and stuff like that for our daughter, and dance.
Not dance classes for me.
No, definitely not. Although you could probably use them. Dance classes for our youngest daughter, because she's the only one that we have left in dance, and dance costumes. Every single penny that went out the door, right, is what we included. And then any giving that we wanted to do, and any vacationing we wanted to do, and any fun money that we needed, and came up with a grand total. And then we figured out how many rentals we needed and what the cash flow needed to be in order for them to kick that money off, so that we didn't have to do anything else if we didn't want to. So we would basically be retired. So
never have to work again.
Correct. At 47 and 46.
And our rentals are managed by our team. So we really have very, very little involvement in that. We may have to answer a few questions each week, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Because we've trained them to run
the show without us.
Run that without us. So plus for us to that, A+ for us.
It took a minute, but we got there.
It took a while, but you could do the same thing if you didn't want to build your own team. You just hire a good property manager, and they'll have the team already in place to do that for you. And we even expanded into managing some rentals for other clients as well. So we have a handful of those that we're managing for others too at this point.
So based on those numbers, we came up that we needed to have 24 rentals, and we actually added 27 doors this year from January until now. And we, in addition to those 27 doors, we added 5 single family houses. They're all single families, right? Now that I say that. That we're flipping.
Yes. They're all single families.
So the first one that we want to talk about, just so that we have some case studies for you and you can see numbers and how we did things. It's 479 Mount Vernon Road. This is a property that the people that were actually buying our office space from owned this as well, and just didn't have it rented. Couldn't keep it rented. They tried to sell it, and nobody was buying it.
It had a foundation problem, and it is going to need a new roof soon. And so it would not qualify for a traditional bank loan, which is why no one would buy it.
So Jay talked to John, and him and Marilyn really wanted about $75,000 plus $5,000 down. And Jay negotiated that we would do $70,000 and $2,500 down.
I tried for 0 down, just to be clear, because I said I have to put money in it for these repairs. And of course, John is the negotiator for their family and said, well, I'd really need a little something at least. So can you do half? And I said, sure, that's fine. And then we're just waiting to do the roof now. Because it doesn't have to be done right away. So why not just let it run its life expectancy out? Worst case, a couple shingles come off and I get a water stain on the ceiling that I gotta fix it. So the roof has been put on hold, but we gave them $2,500 down. And then I think the only repairs that we did to it were we did end up having to put a new furnace in it. And then we replaced one window.
Yep. We replaced one window, replaced the furnace because the carbon monoxide was building up in the basement, which is a big, huge no-no, as we all know. And we cleaned it. That was it.
Yeah. So all in about 6,000. And you can see here on the sheet, the screen, that's 5,000 a year is what I negotiated for a payment. And so what is that? 5,000 divided by 12 is 416, 67 a month.
Yep.
Okay. And then it's a no interest loan, so we'll pay down 5,000 a year over 3 years. I tried for a 10-year term, but he wouldn't go for it. And so on the next slide, you'll see that we did a lease option tenant. There's a picture of it. Just a little tiny house, 2-bed, 1-bath. And that's our office phone and email there. And this is our advertisement that we put on the Facebook groups. So again, free marketing. And we lease optioned it for 99, and you saw we paid 70. So if they execute tomorrow, they win the lottery, which did happen to one of our lease option tenants.
Yes.
And they pay the house off. Then you know that we're gonna make $29,000, and we're all in for 6.
I've got the yawns today.
If they don't buy it right away or ever, go ahead.
Because this is the second tenant that we've had in it already.
Yeah, that's right. in less than a year. Because the first one put a shed. They asked if they could do a shed, and we said, yeah, as long as you contact the city and get the permit, which they did not do.
And they put it right beside the house, right where in front of that
right
car,
here.
basically.
They set the huge shed, almost as big as the house.
Right. It's definitely as big as that garage back there. But they did not get a permit. So then the city went to
fine us,
and we said, hold on.
And so we
That's
said,
not ours.
You're in violation of your lease. We told you to get a permit. You did not. So you have 2 options.
Remove the shed
within 30 days, or we remove you from the property through the eviction process. And they chose to move the shed and themselves. And I think they either moved into this house next door, or there's one over here, and they moved in that one.
Oh my goodness, I have the yawns so bad today. I'm so sorry.
So we got to keep their option money
because the option fee is non-refundable.
Yeah, and they broke their lease. So we already kept, I think, $2,500 for their option fee, and then we re-optioned it here to a second tenant. And
yeah, it's going well so far.
Oh, I thought the rents were on there.
No, they're not.
It's on the previous one. No? Okay,
no,
I guess we took it off.
Sheet. No, it's right
Oh,
here.
it's on the sheet. Okay, yeah. Okay, $895 a month. And we were paying $417, and then taxes and insurance is about $600
total.
So we normally make about $300 a month. That's our minimum. But But on this one, they didn't have the full down payment, the second tenant, so we did $1,250 option fee,
And then
$1,250.
and then increase their monthly rent by $100 to cover the other half of the $1,250 for the $2,500 total.
Yep. So we got 2,500 plus another 1,250. So we got 3,750 in option fees the first year, and we put $6,000 in it total.
Mhm.
And then we're cash flowing every month. Since we're getting $1,000 a month and we're paying out 600, now we're cash flowing $400 a month. So we were literally get 100% return on an investment on this property just in year one. So that's a creative finance deal for you.
And here's another one.
Another one.
This is another property that we got this year. It's 330 Elmwood. A friend of ours who is also a real estate investor had this one, and he was just, they hadn't paid rent in
2 years.
2 years. He had not put into process the eviction proceedings whatsoever. He just was allowing them to live there because it was easier than to try to evict them and find a new tenant and fix up all of the stuff. So they hadn't paid rent in 2 years.
So,
and he was tired of it and wanted to be done. So Jay, being the master negotiator.
Yeah. So being the master negotiator, he wanted 30,000 down. And I said, well, that's just great. However, you have a tenant in there that's not paying. I can't even evict them now. It may, it's not allowed because of COVID at the time. I was going to have to wait a couple of months to evict. And I don't, it could need a ton of work on the inside.
Yeah, we have no idea because he hadn't been in it for years either.
And we were able to go in and see it beforehand, luckily. So I did find out it didn't need a ton of work, but it did need a new roof on the house. It was leaking. And so I negotiated $1,000 down, and we put it into a trust. And then this property is then controlled by me
as the trustee.
And the agreement was that he would get his 30,000 at the end of the year, which we just closed on our refinance yesterday. Yay.
We don't even have the money in the bank yet, honestly.
But the kicker was, I told the tenant,
yeah, we sent him a notice.
You owe like $30,000 in rent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to let you start over from scratch day one, as long as and the rent was $700 then.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can do $995 a month in rent, and you lost your option to buy because you quit paying, and we'll do $995 a month for rent and you can stay. She literally paid us 5 days later.
So it wasn't even as if she could not afford to pay. She just wasn't, because he wasn't forcing her to.
So be careful what you let your tenants get away with and for how long, because they will push the envelope until the last minute if you let them. Exactly. So don't let them walk on you. This is an example. This guy lost over 30 grand in rent, plus he lost this house because he's a poor manager. Okay. So that's your tip on this deal. But we were able to refi it. We did put a roof on it that cost us about,
we had to fix the skylights too.
Well, we removed those completely.
Mm-hmm.
And then fix plywood sheeting, and we did some drywall repairs. I think we have maybe 7,500 in this one.
I think so too. That's about right anyway. 75 to 8,500. And
then we just refinanced it. And then we were able to pay him his 30 grand plus we took 4,000 cash out. Plus we skip a payment for January 1, because our payment won't be due till February 1. So we made back 5,000 of our 7,500. Okay. So that's about a 65% ROI in year one. Okay. So yeah, that's that deal.
That was deal number 2.
Do we have any questions?
I don't know. I'll have to
We
come
should
out
probably
of here
check real quick and
and
see. You guys
go
can ask questions if
here.
you want.
Oh, shoot.
Chat.
There's 3 attendees. Yep. No.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, just type in the chat and we'll get them answered for you.
I'll do my best anyway.
So that deal went perfectly. I loved it. Very happy with that one. And the one before, I wouldn't change anything. Everything went great. I like to look back and think about what we could do different to make the deal better. So I just wanted to share that with you guys as well.
All right.
So this is another one.
Yeah. This one is an apartment complex in Buckeye Lake.
So 8 doors in one transaction.
Yeah, it's actually 4 buildings, right?
4
2
buildings.
in each building.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 50% occupied. In addition to only being half filled, one of the tenants had put his rent in escrow because there were repairs that were needing to be done that were not being done.
Yeah, his roof was leaking into his bedroom, and his bedroom ceiling and wall was molded.
So this was the same guy. The same guy that we got the previous 330 Elmwood from owned this property as well. And he just is a poor manager of properties.
Yeah. Now this one, he didn't want to just sign over. He either wanted us to buy him out or partner with him on it. And, you know, he's not a good property manager, but he is a good partner because he pays his bills. He's a high income earner, high net worth,
high credit score.
So it'll be easy for us to partner with him and do the refinance, which we're just starting on this refinance now, 9 months later.
But the agreement was then that we would partner because he wanted too much of a buy-in for us to have the capital anyway. Jay and I try not to use our own capital, although this year has not been that case. We've got all of our capital out in lots of different projects.
Yeah.
So when he said we need to bring some capital, and I said, that's not going to work for me this time. So
but we did.
Yes.
We just brought capital.
Just not as much.
In a different way.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
My capital, the way that I was talking was actual cash, right? So we did not stroke a check or wire funds for this deal.
No, we got a business line of credit and we used that money to do repairs on this unit, which we were estimating repairs to be, I was estimating repairs to be around 35 to 40,000,
and they were about 55 to 60.
It ended up being about 55 to 60. So on this one, I wish I had inspected the roofs a little bit closer. I didn't do a good enough inspection on the roofs. I thought that we would replace 2 and patch 2, and we've now replaced 1 and patched 3.
And the other one needs replaced.
We've replaced 2.
Yes, we've replaced 2. And
we've patched 2.
Patched 2, and another one needs replaced.
The one that we patched didn't really work.
Right. The patching did not work. So now it's tarped until we can get the weather to break.
It needs another roof. And we're just trying to avoid paying for it. So we were going to attempt to do the refinance and get cash out and do the roof then. But my guess is
they'll make us do it before.
They're going to make us fix it beforehand. So I'm just kind of writing that one out and playing the chess game to see if the lender will let me do a roof repair escrow. So say I estimate they'll give us $150,000 cash out on this one. And so in that instance, I would tell them hold back in reserve at the title company $20,000 for the roof. And once I fix the roof, then you can release the money to our construction company for fixing the roof. Because we own the construction company as well. That's how we were able to do a little bit better on this deal.
Then somebody else may have been able to.
Than someone else. And so we had lots of roof repairs. We had evictions we had to do.
Three total
rehabs.
4 now that we've done 7 too.
Yeah, 4 total rehabs out of 8. And
a bunch of piddling work on the rest of it.
But those were making
repairs.
Yeah, those were making $0. And before we took them, all the units were making about $700 a month each. And we've rehabbed them and increased rents to $1,000 each. So you can see where we did a value add of 30% in the rent roll. Plus we filled it 100% occupied with all paying tenants. Okay, so out of pocket on that one was about $55,000, and we haven't. Well, I can't say we haven't recouped any of that money. We've recouped it in the form of rents, because it's making about
$2,600 cash flow a month.
Okay, $2,600 a month.
I think is what I saw the last.
Yeah,
that's about right. 24 to 26, but we split it with the other investor.
We split
right
it.
Now.
So if I didn't do anything, that's a 20% return ROI, because it would take me 5 years to get my money back. But in this instance, we filled it and we're going to refinance it.
Mm-hmm.
And with the refinance, because the value increased so much, we'll be able to get our $55,000 back. Plus, we'll take another $150 cash out, which we get 75. The other owner will get the other 75.
Right.
And so we'll get our 52 back plus another 75. So in year 1, the ROI, was 20%, but next year
it will be a different story.
In year 2, the ROI is infinity, because we'll get all of our money back plus 1.5 times more. Okay, so that's what makes this a smoking hot deal of the year.
This is another deal that we found. I don't even remember how we found this.
This one was a
Facebook post,
Facebook post
yeah.
from a wholesaler.
So it's a triplex.
Who had actually closed on it. A real estate agent team.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to rehab it.
And then change their minds.
Yes.
And it is a triplex, and it is about an hour from us. And this is our first deal that we did with our 4 kids.
Yay.
So our 4 kids are part investors on this. They had been saving some money. The middle 2, our son who is 19 and our daughter who is 17, has been doing some work for our construction company and saving some money. Our 21-year-old daughter is a college student and social worker. She's getting her master's, and had been saving some money. And then our 15-year-old had saved up some money from Christmas and birthdays and odd jobs and babysitting and stuff like that. So they wanted to invest, and we put together a plan with them to do this triplex.
Yep. So they fronted half the money. We bought it for $15,000 cash. So this one, we used our own money. Well, half ours, half the kids.
Half the kids, yep.
And we paid cash for it because they wanted like 30, but we negotiated 15 if we could close in less than a week, because they were going on vacation and they wanted to take that money with them. So we bought it cash, and then we actually did a hard money loan refinance to get our purchase price back plus repairs.
And that's with Wildcat Lending, is that right?
Yeah, Wildcat Lending. They lend in multiple states, and so they gave us the 10,000 of the 15,000 back.
Yep, 10,000 of the $15,000 back from our purchase, and then 100% of the repairs.
Yeah,
it's separated into draws, and then we worked with a title company that holds those draws. Oh no,
not
Wildcat Lending holds those draws for us. Yeah. And basically with Wildcat, you have to do the repairs first and then turn in to be reimbursed.
Yep. You can do as many draws as you want with them. They're a really great company to work with.
So the triplex is 2 units up front in a duplex type situation, and then a back unit. So we fixed the front 2 and rented those 2 out, and then pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then the back unit just finished up a couple weeks ago and have it rented out.
Yeah.
Too.
The back one was a lot more work. We found out after that we had to dig up the whole backyard and rerun new sewer drains and new water lines. So that was an unexpected expense.
And then the windows were not safe and to code for anybody to get out of. So we had to replace a couple of those, which we knew, but that was still a chore, and cutting into the block and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah. So we did about 60 grand in repairs. So we got about 75 in this one. Mm-hmm. And we're working on a refinance now for a permanent loan. And it should appraise for 125, and then we'll cash out at say 100. Mm-hmm. So that'll pay this old loan off, plus give us maybe 20 grand extra.
Yeah.
That we will then consult with our children about what they would like to do.
If they want their money back, or if they want.
Do you want your money back, or
do you want to do something
or
different?
do you want to buy another investment property and roll it? Which my assumption is that they'll want to roll it and buy another property, because each one of them, once we get the final loan, each one of them will make about $200 a month cash flow.
Yeah.
Our 4 kids. And then Annie and I just opted to take one cash flow payment instead of 2. So we'll get 200 a month as well.
This next one, these slides are going to get less and less as far as what's on them, to be 100% honest. But we have lots to talk about, and there's just less information because they're newer deals and there's different things that are happening. So
check the chat again.
I just did.
Oh, okay.
This one is also a duplex, and it is also in the same town as the triplex that we bought with our kids. So it's about an hour away. This one was purchased because we had to purchase it because of another deal that
we should have put this one
right.
After.
That's what I was just going to say. We should have
the next slide.
So the next slide is a 9 unit that is 603 Chestnut, and these are across the street from one another. And we had to buy 553, 555 because 603 had 0 parking, and it was built and developed when there were no vehicles.
Yeah.
So there was no parking needed.
Oops.
Oh, wait. What happened? Oh, there we go.
Skip stuff. I was gonna try to type on it, but
no, you can't. When that's like that. Anyway, so we bought this for.
It's a Victorian. It's beautiful.
It is very nice, but we bought it for double than what it's worth.
It's worth 75, and we paid 150 for it.
And the guy that we bought it from knew that we needed it for the parking, and there was a chat, and knew that we horse parking. Yes,
Mark. Yes, exactly, Mark. You just tied your horse to the front
to the front stoop. They've got the hooks on the front stoop for all of the horses, but
the one across
0
the street.
Parking across the street at 553, 555 Chestnut. The duplex has like 11 spots or 12 or something crazy, because it was a doctor's office on the bottom and an attorney's office on top, or vice versa or something.
Yeah. And we're adding like 4 more spots in the yard.
Yeah. So there's plenty of space across the street at this duplex that we're talking about now for the 9 unit that's across the street that had none. So the gentleman that owned it knew that we needed it. We had been talking, and this town is even smaller than ours.
It's real small.
So we had been talking to, there's a radio station that has an empty lot that's on the other side of the alley from the big 9 unit apartment complex. So we had been talking to them. And so the gentleman that owns this duplex knew exactly that we needed it. So he was going to get all he could out of it. And
yes,
he was generous enough, though, in all honesty, to do a land contract. He didn't really have to have it outright right away either. So,
well, no, it wouldn't have worked if he did. And that's what
Correct.
I told him. Like I said, I can't go to a bank and tell them to give me twice what the property's worth. So you have to owner finance this for us for a while. So we ended up negotiating a 5-year term owner finance with only $600 a month payment. So our payment will be low, and just renting the property without the parking spots will generate about $400 a month cash flow.
I think so, yeah.
And then we're gonna do like a 30-year master lease with our unit across the street, and we'll rent 9 parking spots for, I think, $450 a month.
Yeah, I thought that's what we said, $60 a spot.
Yeah. So it'll end up being cash flowing like about $1,000 a month with the extra parking spots. And it doesn't need a ton of work.
No, that's what I was gonna say. It's an older house, and it's a Victorian, like Jay said. So it's got all of the really nice woodwork and
a lot of paint,
curved walls
and flooring.
So it needs painting and flooring for sure.
And some plumbing pipes.
And well, it does need some furnace.
It
needs quite a bit, actually, now that we're talking. But because we've already replaced one furnace and
the other one's fine.
Yeah.
But so that one will probably have and he wanted $5,000 down.
Which we did.
Which we did that. So we gave him $5,000 down, and then no interest loan, and we're paying him like $600 a month. So within 5 years, we'll be able to pay that down. And then if we take the cash flow from the parking and apply it toward principal reduction, then in 5 years, when we're ready to refi, we should have a little bit of equity. If trends continue to go up and we continue to pay down, then in about 5 years, I think that this will more than likely be worth about $100,000 then, and we should owe $75,000 by that time. So we should have about 25% equity.
Hopefully. This one is the 9 unit. Let me see if I can find a picture of this one too. I've got you here. Sorry.
So I'll talk about the 9 unit. It was vacant for years.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to sell it for years, but there's no parking, and there's nowhere to add parking, and you can't park on the street either. It's a one-way street, and there's no parking spots, and there's no alley behind it.
There's just nothing.
You literally would have to park a block away,
right,
to find a parking spot. So we wrote the offer contingent upon us acquiring parking for the building in our purchase contract. And we did it for 90 days. And this unit is worth about $150 as is. It's a beautiful building.
Let me see if I can get these to pull up.
Really, we could tear it apart and sell everything on it for probably $500,000. So this
is, yeah.
Are we sharing the right screen?
Yeah. I'm sharing this screen.
Okay.
So this is the apartment complex.
You guys tell us in the chat if you can see it.
And right here, where these cars are, is where the parking spaces are that we're going to end up getting.
Yeah, so that's a row of apartments. It's almost like brownstones. Those are the back.
And this is the back.
And that fence is the back of our lot. So as you can see,
it's leaning drastically.
It's actually the neighbor's fence, luckily. And so the rehab budget on this bad boy, because it's 3 stories plus basement, and it literally needs everything on the inside. The outside needs about $150,000 in repairs. I know it doesn't look like it from the photo, but there's a lot there.
There's just a lot.
That included there's 181 windows that need to be painted and repaired. And it's a historical district, which is what we love about this property. The city has committed to give us a grant for $50,000 next spring. And then the county has offered to let us apply for a grant to reduce the tax bill to keep it historical. So every dollar we spend, they will credit us 45 cents back in a tax reduction. All right. So the taxes are, say, right around $5,000 a year. Well, they're going to cut our tax bill down to under $2,500 a year. It's going to be like $2,250, and that will go on. If we're spending about $600,000, so they're going to credit us back almost $300,000. So do the math on that. If we save $2,000 a year on taxes, and they're crediting us back $280,000, that's a long time. that the taxes will be reduced.
Yes.
Because they'll have to credit us $280,000.
It's
140 years.
Yeah.
Our tax bill will be reduced. So we'll have a half reduced tax bill. Our kids will have a half reduced tax bill. And then their kids will have a half reduced tax bill. So see, we set up our future grandchildren.
But as you can see, this is a project.
Yeah, it's been vacant for
a very long time.
5 years. So has old boiler system. So we got to add heat ducts and furnaces and air conditioners and all new electric, all new plumbing rough in, new plumbing drains, new water lines, you name it. The
floors are in great shape.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing that's really not needing much work are those wood floors. And that was built in 1900. So those wood floors are 121 years old. So this one, we got a loan for $625,000, I think. Right around
there.
It is valued at just under $1 million once we fix it. And so we should be able to also cash out refinance this one. And that would look like about $720,000 on the refi, and we got about $620 in it. So I think we'll be able to pull out about $100,000 on this particular
property. The purchase price was what, 65, and the rehab
65,000 was the purchase price, and the rehab was 585,000. And it's so 640.
It's supposed to be worth 850 when it's done.
Yeah, we had to bring 26,000 down on this particular project. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get a big project. And then we're gonna get money from the city as well, so that we'll get 50,000 back for that. So that'll be really good.
Yep. This is another property that's here in our town. It's 248 North 5th Street rear, which is a house behind a house.
Oh, go back to the other one for a second.
Oh.
I was going to tell them. So on the 9 unit, we'll have 6 4-bedrooms that'll rent for at least $1,000 a month. So that's $6,000. And then 3-bed, that's probably around $900. A 2-bed, that'll be around $800. So that's $1,777.
And then 1 bedroom.
Then the 1 bedroom will be about $550. So we'll collect about 8,300 gross per year on that one. And our final payment on, if we take the $100,000 out, our final payment, I use a loan calculator to figure this out. So I'll put just say 750,000, and we can get a 30-year fixed loan at 5.125, or we can go with a bank loan. But 30-year, if we want to fix it for 30, so no one has to worry about it, payment will be like 4,083 a month, and then add taxes and insurance, it'll cash flow about $3,200 or $3,300
That's what I was
a
thinking.
month.
It was going to be between 3 and 3,500.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Now we can use a small credit union. They'll give us 3.75%, and they'll amortize it over 25 years. So that drops our payment to $38.55 instead. So not a huge difference there. Once you take off the 5-year extra amortization, the payment's almost the same as if you got a 30-year fixed at 5.125.
Yeah.
So we'll probably go with the 30-year fixed on that one and pay just a little bit more so that we know it's set and it doesn't have to be touched for 30 years.
So there was another one that we bought here locally. It is 248 North 5th Street rear, because it's the house behind the house.
Mhm. Yep.
On the same, it's on a different lot or the same lot?
Different lot.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
My assumption is it was a double lot before, and they split it in half because it was big enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then they built
Another house.
a second house, but it's on the alley, and so they had to give it an address of rear.
So this house was where all of the homeless and crack addicts hung out for a while. Yeah. So we actually had to.
And cats.
Yeah,
Lots of
were
cats were there.
Lots of trash, lots of overgrown things, and so it was our favorite. I didn't even go in it, if that tells you.
Yeah. Oh, and fleas. Oh my God.
The first time we went, I refused to go inside.
The fleas were so bad.
And I did not go inside until the bugs were under control. But
I was annihilated by the fleas.
So this one was on the market?
On the market again. A wholesaler bought it, closed on it, and then decided they didn't want to do it. And it was not on market. But
when we bought it, it was not.
She was friends with the agent that we bought the one with the kids with.
Yes.
And so this agent said, "Hey, I got another deal, maybe, if you're interested." I said, "I'm always interested. Shoot it over." So they were asking $45,000. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath, but you have the ability to add a couple walls and make it a 4-bed, 1-bath. And that makes the rent like $1,200 a month, which is, no brainer for me.
Right.
So they wanted 45. We offered 35. They said no. We countered back at 40. They took that. And then I ran it through the brokerage, and so I didn't want to pay my own commissions, so we changed the price to 41.2, and then my commissions were $1,200. And so that's how you can do that, by the way, if you're an agent.
Yeah, and that's perfectly legal and totally on the up and up. So it's nothing like
and
you're behind.
Yeah, if your broker,
to do it.
My broker wants me to run all my purchases through the brokerage, and so that's what I did. And I just raised the price $1,200, and then got my commission paid back to me, my portion.
So yes, we are adding a doorway to an existing living room to make it a bedroom, and adding a closet. We are adding a wall upstairs to make an additional bedroom and adding a closet. So it will be a 4-bedroom, 1-bath.
Yep, it's almost done. and we put about 35 in that one. So we're all in, I think 83,200 was my total. I just tallied up for
our 83,250
our
or something
refinance, and I hope it appraises for 125, but it could come in at 110, depending on the appraiser. But I'm hoping for 125, and that we can refi it for 100, and then we can take out about after closing costs, probably like 13 or 14 grand. But hey, that'll let us buy another house.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And this one we bought no money out of pocket, and that's because we used one of our personal private money lenders, and they let us purchase, rehab, and refinance, and we don't even make monthly payments. They just added it to the end, and so no money out of pocket
at all.
This was an infinite return on this one as soon as we get it filled, which we should have it filled.
Yeah, we already have people interested. So
finished and filled by January 15, and refinanced by
the end of February, probably.
By the end of February. And our loan with our private money lender is due at the end of March. So we will actually be a month ahead of schedule.
Yes.
On that one.
I think this is oh no, we got a couple more and we only have a few more minutes. So this one is out in the country. It's on 6 acres. It was
2 acres.
2 acres. Sorry.
That's the other one.
Wrong house.
Oh, we didn't even include that one.
Well, that was a flip as well. This one's on 2 acres. Sorry. We have a flip that's on 6 acres out in the country, but this one's on 2 acres. A friend of ours that I went to grade school with, actually, and Jay went to school with her brother. And we had done some deals with her and her mom before her mom passed. And this was her mother-in-law's house, and her father-in-law had passed. So she wanted to be out of it. And we gave her a couple of different options, and it just amazes me of what she actually decided to do. But Jay spoke to her and her daughter-in-law, and
it was worth 210. And I said I could sell it for you for 210, but you have a lot of cleaning up to do and some freshening up paint and stuff. Or I'll just buy it as is for 150, and you can leave when you want, take what you want, leave what you want. We can close when you want. And so I made it very easy. And I also offered the creative deal, but she did not take it, which my creative deal for her was $12,000 a year for 10 years, and then I would pay it off. And I think she was concerned about her not being alive.
Not being around for 12 years. So we did get the house for $150,000. It's actually worth 210 as is. We got a money loan from Wildcat Lending for this one as well. So we can add some flooring if we want. We put it on the market to try to resell it at like the tip top dollar.
A ridiculous price.
We had several showings.
$250 on it to try to sell it. We didn't even do anything except paint a few rooms.
Had several showings, heard that there was too much work to do, which we totally understood. Not that there was a whole lot to do anyway, but we cleaned it out. We spent very little money on it. And now we are looking at putting a rent to own person in there, or possibly refinancing it and keeping it long term for a rental.
So if we keep it as a rental, we'll make like $600 a month on that one. Or if we sell it, then we should make about $80,000 on it.
So we have some options there.
We keep flipping back and forth.
Flipping back and forth between what we're going to do. This one is 493 Alston. It's also in our town. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Yep.
And we are debating whether or not to keep this one as a rental or if we're
2-car garage.
And it's pretty much done. It needed paint, carpet, flooring.
When we bought it with $0. Same thing. One of our private money lenders loaned us the money for the purchase and the repair. No money down, no monthly payments. We actually get paid at closing for the first phase. So very different than working with a bank or even a hard money lender. So note to self, find yourself some private money lenders, because it opens you up to do many different creative things, and to build a 27 door rental portfolio
in a year.
In 1 year. Okay.
So that is what we have been up to this year so far. Moving into 2022, we're probably going to be adding some more and actually growing our coaching and consulting business. So if you guys have any questions about anything that we went over today, if you'd like to more detail or on anything, or just to have us review one of your deals and see if it is a deal, something along those lines, it's Jay and Annie Adkins. And I was thinking that I had that on there, but let me flip to this one real quick. And this is our office number and our email that anybody can send stuff to. So
any questions from today?
I don't think so. There's nothing in the chat.
None.
Well, we hope you guys have a fantastic holiday season and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we will see you next month.
Merry Christmas.